Xi Jinping's participation in G20 this weekend was excluded after announced that the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be managed by country's Prime Minister Li Qiang. The first one will not attend the summit of the G20 leaders since it was held in 2008. But he joined only in 2020 and 2021 due to pandemia. U.S. President Joe Biden said he hoped for Xi's summit in Delhi last week. But U.S. officials reduced chance of two leaders after 11 has suspected participation of 11. Analysts suggested that Xi's absence could be a snub to India, the host country where China is involved in border disputes. At the same time, it could be part of a coercion that appears to raise other multilateral groups on those who are seen to be dominated by the United States. 11 recently went to the BRICS Summit in South Africa, a bloc that the Chinese leader pushed as an alternative to Western leaders such as G20 and G7. China's foreign spokesman Mao Ning announced that Li would lead the delegation of the delegation.not. A Chinese expert and political scientist Wen-Ti Sung said, immediately after joining BRICS Summit, jumping of Western G20 Club can be a visual example of Xi East is rising and West falls. At university, Xi and Biden, who tried to repair ties after years of relations and ongoing disruptions, met between the G20 and Indonesia in last November. Biden, which was represented by Vice President Kamala Harris at the Southeast Asian Nations Union Summit this week, will fly to Vietnam after the G20. At a press conference in Beijing on Monday, Mao accused the United States of watching a zero-total Cold War mentality while dealing with Asian countries. It should adhere to basic principles of international relations, avoid targeting third parties and damage the peace, stability and development of region, he said. On Sunday, Biden said he will see him, but he said that he was not detailed. China and United States in a war for influence in the Indo-Pacific. But neither Xi nor Biden attended ASEAN summit this week. Xi Jinping. The biggest concern is it is national security and that it has to ensure foreign leaders to visit her instead of visiting her, says Alfred Wusingapur, associate professor at Li Qiang Yeaw Public Policy at the National University. Told. However, if Xi jumps Apec, would be very important after all preparations made on the U.S. side. And it still reflects future and international stance of China because still needs foreign investment. Other participating G20 leaders include the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and French President Emmanuel Macron.